Hi, my name is Mike Theiss, and I teach my face-to-face classes at the University of Wisconsin Marathon campus. I also teach for the University of Wisconsin online campus. I will be working with you in an application called Microsoft Excel. We've taken our table, which has the states, the regions, the year, and the populations in it, and we've checked it over to make sure there's no empty cells. Now we're going to take the table and we are going to work with pivot tables. It's a way to manipulate the data and come up with some displays that can help us make decisions. I have selected the table and I'm going to go to the Insert tab, and I'm going over to the far left and I'm inserting a pivot table. I have a dialog box where it's making sure that this is the data I want, and I know I want to go from A1 to D52, period. That's where I'm getting my data from. And I do want to put it on a new worksheet. That's by default, that's what's selected, and I'll click on the OK button. Now over here on the other side, I have some new objects that I can work with. Okay, I've got a filter for reports and working with column labels. This is where I will be working. On the left-hand side, the data will automatically fill in to the example that's here. For example, I know my data and I know that I want to work with the regions. Now I can either click on the region or I can hold my left mouse button down and I can say, hey, I want my row labels to start with the regions. Please note, over here on the left, there are the regions. Okay, it's a label, that's all it is, and it doesn't have any data in it yet. I'm going to take and I'm going to use another field, okay, that has some numbers in it. The population field, the data type in the population field are values. I'm going to click, and I'm going to put it over here into the values area. Okay, notice, new column. The totals of the Midwest has this value. Okay, and I put my mouse cursor there on purpose, hoping you can kind of read that. The sum of the population for the Midwest is, each one of these cells has some information that I can work with. Now I want to go to a different, how do I put this? I want to go a little bit more in depth. And I know I've got my state field out here. And I want to take that and let's pop it in here by the row labels. Now I have some new information. Here are the states in this column that make up the regions over here and their individual information. I've got a little bit more here that I can work with. Again, what I'm getting here, you have to be comfortable with what the data in your table is representing, so you know how to manipulate it. The system just doesn't go and find these answers. You're using the system to place data in certain areas, okay? I put in years, okay? And I have states down here under the row labels. I want to move this down a little bit. It's hard to do because of the way that we're looking at the video. I've got my states, okay, and I really don't like how this is working. I'm going to change, and instead of putting it in the row, I'll move it over here to the columns, okay. What did I hit? Oops, wrong one. I want to undo that. I'm going to pop it back here under region. I want to get the years Sorry about that, but you see how easy it is to move things around and navigate? I'm just using the left mouse button and holding it. Now I've got some data. Okay, I've got the Midwest made up of these states of Missouri and North Dakota, and in 1970, this was the sum of the population. Okay, 80, 90, 2000. Okay, I do want to point out to you that the data in the column that I just highlighted really doesn't make a lot of sense. It's been summed. Down here under the values area, it's a summing what the population is for each of the 10-year census. Okay, each of the 10-year censuses. I don't want to sum it. I'm going to take and I'm going to click on my little down diamond here, and I'm going to make a change in the value settings. Okay, so instead of summing, I have a number of options. And again, you have to pick the right tool. I'm arbitrarily picking average, and I'll go OK. Now I have the average population for the Midwest, for Missouri, over those time, okay, over the 4 censuses. You've got to work with pivot tables. You've got to take the time with some data and to manipulate them. They can be extremely helpful, help you find data fast. Once you have the pivot table, you can use it to do other things. Hopefully this just gets you started with pivot tables and how to navigate around the little tools that we had. Thank you very much.